welcome back to the Combo Cabal. I am your host, Bryant Cook, and today we're playing some Pioneer Lotus Field Combo. I'm excited. So, I actually published a video 2 days ago as of when I record this, and usually my videos are about a week out. So I've had a week's worth of testing, probably a little bit more than that. And over the week, I've just been playing tons of Pioneer because I love this deck so much. I've played a few different versions of the Ultimatum builds after I went on a losing streak with my own trusty Wish builds. So why am I not playing the Ultimatum build then if I went on a losing streak? Because I learned so much that I wanted to circle back on my own deck list, change some things, and come back. So I went on a bad losing streak where I was losing to a lot of black decks, but I was also losing to blue-white, which was weird because I had been doing so well against it previously. And it made me reevaluate my approach. So the black decks can be solved with Leyline of Sanctity. I was hesitant to add it before, but I think we just need to be playing this card, so I added it in. We cut some cards to make up for it, but I'll get there in just a second. So I talked about the blue-white matchup where I was winning before and then that changed. So I think what happened is Lotus Field became a lot more popular in the format, and then blue-white players started respecting it more. So I was no longer beating all the bad people. I'm not trying to make anyone feel bad here, but the players that weren't quite as skillful that were on blue-white previously. And now that blue-white's like this tier 1 really good deck, a lot of good players have shifted to it from Phoenix, and these good players might have a little bit more experience playing control, who knows, but I'm not beating those players, and those are the players I'm really gunning for. So when we looked at the previous list, we had 3 Mystical Dispute and 2 Thought Distortion. Well, why wouldn't those get the job done? Mystical Dispute answers Narset, Thought Distortion answers all their counters, easy peasy. Well, what happened was my opponents were no longer playing into the disputes, which, you know, it can happen. Games go long, and as the games go long, dispute just becomes worse and worse, especially when sometimes their counters are things like Dobin's Veto, so then you can't even like pinch them on mana. It doesn't work out. So that was unfortunate. And then Thought Distortion, there's lists on Goldfish right now. If you go look, 3 copies of Narset's reversal on the board. 2 copies is pretty standard, but some are even going up to 3 now. And if people are going to be running that many Thought Distortion or that many Narset's reversals for Thought Distortion, you don't want to be playing that card. So that made both of my sideboard options not so great. So I started looking at other options. And our good friend Mike Devo, who plays a lot of Pioneer Lotus Field Combo, go check out Mike's channel. Great person, also terrific player. But Mike Devo uploaded a league where he claimed that Lier was broken and that everyone should be playing it in their Lotus Field lists. So I watched Mike's video and it was good. So definitely go watch that video. But it made me start to question on whether or not I should be playing Lier, and I started testing it again. So I cut the 3rd Brawl from the main deck for the first copy of Lier in the main deck, and then I've been really underwhelmed by the sideboard dig through time, so I cut the sideboard dig through time for Lier. So you can wish, because wish doesn't say instant or sorcery, it can get anything, including that Lotus Field or the Lier. So you can wish for Lier, and then flashback your hidden strings, flashback wish, go get another card, keep on comboing. It's been really, really powerful. So I've liked Lier so far. But that also says spells can't be countered, which is really good against the blue decks. So we have this card as a wish target and one in the main to just, you know, slip it in, because it itself can be countered, but once it resolves, counter spells don't work. So you have to, you know, pick your spots. So Lier's pretty effective, but not quite game ending. Niv-Mizzet's similar, where the way that the format's moved, it doesn't end the game anymore because control decks have Adawara, there's the White March, they play Supreme Verdict, there's Faithful Absence. There's a lot of ways that your opponent can answer Niv-Mizzet that didn't exist a year ago. So Niv isn't lights out, but it's really good. So I don't think you can get away with just riding Niv to victory, plus Narset sort of shuts down Niv anyway, and Narset's a concern that I have. So I eventually just started looking more and more at the Ultimatum builds, and then I played 3-4 leagues with those builds. I really did. And what I learned was that Sphinx of the Final Word was fine, but I think it makes more sense now that I'm off of, you know, those other effects. So I'm going to be playing Sphinx of the Final Word in the Wish build for the first time in this video, and I'm really excited to see how it goes. So yeah, I mean, that's the big blue check here, is that we're shifting away from Mystical Dispute and Thought Distortion and towards Lier and Sphinx of the Final Word. We have Leyline for the black decks, and then Alpine Moon for the mirror. When we're the Wish build, we can easily wish for Alpine Moon in the mirror to buy time. The thing is, this used to be a game-ending line. That's not the case anymore when Boseiju exists, because they have Boseijus and Ottawaras, and the Ultimatum list also still plays a Blast Zone sometimes, so there's also that. So it's not game over, but what we're looking for is, you know, to buy a few turns off this Alpine Moon. That's what we're really going for, because a lot of the Ultimatum builds are on 3 Thought Distortion now, and I don't think that we want to allow them to Thought Distortion us, especially when we're not playing Mystical Dispute. So we need something for that matchup, and that something's Alpine Moon. If you're not going to be running your own distortions or Mystical Disputes, you have to have something, and I think Alpine Moon makes a lot of sense here as a wish target, so I'm running that today. We're only running 2 March of the Swirling Mist. I love this card, I really do, but what I've been boarding recently, I've noticed that, like, so you go to board against Winota or Mono Red, you end up boarding out all 3 Peering to the Abyss, when in reality, you wouldn't mind leaving 1 in. So I'm going to start, at least in this video, testing out less marches and just doing 2. That way I can still have a main deck Peer. Yeah, so I think that covers that. You might notice there's a basic forest in here. I think I owe our good friend Bob Nixilis from the Storm Discord an apology. Bob, about 3 weeks ago, came to the Storm Discord and said, like, hey, Field of Rune's been picking up a lot out of these blue-white decks. I think we should be playing a forest. And I feel like in hindsight, I felt like I gaslighted Bob. I didn't mean to do that, but it happened. So Bob, I'm very sorry, because today I'm playing a forest. But it wasn't just for Field of Ruin. In my testing, I kept on getting paired into these Greasefang decks that had Assassin's Trophy. And I kept on wondering to myself, like, why am I not playing a basic forest? Like, it seems so easy. And then I was testing out the Ultimatum builds, and they all had 1, and it was fine. So I think I'm gonna, you know, try it out for now. Yeah, and then one thing I really noticed, which was strange, was that there was a return to Yavimaya Coast over the flip land, the pathway. So that struck me as really odd out of the Bullwinkle list. I mean, Bullwinkle crushed a challenge, congrats to them, you know, props, whatever. But I thought it was a little strange how they returned to Yavimaya Coast, because it gives them color consistency. It's not one or the other, and I completely get that. But it made me reevaluate my own deck list, and I thought to myself, hey, we want both colors, but sometimes we want red, and sometimes Catcher Your Triumph's a little bit slow. What if we played Mana Confluence instead as a tri-land? Yes, it doesn't tap for colorless, you always take the 1. But I haven't had that actually be an issue yet, so I think I'm interested in Mana Confluence because it helps Wish consistency for Lotus Field, and that's really what I'm into. So Mana Confluence seems pretty strong to me. Is there anything else worth noting? I think that's it. I hope you enjoyed this deck tech, a little bit longer than any of the ones I've done recently. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I do appreciate all support, comments, whatever. I try to answer them. But for now, I will see you in the first match. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to click that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. That said, there's no better way of showing your support than becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks, and we get to keep making combo content. The perks get better and better each level you go up. They also stack. To start off, with our Storm Fan tier, you unlock our private members section of our Discord, which comes with a highlighted user profile and then some awesome badges and emotes for YouTube. Looking for sideboard help? Become a Stormtrooper, our middle tier, for 2 sideboard guides of your deck choice every single month, on top of 50% off donation decks. Did we mention you also get 10% off merchandise from our shop? With our top tier, the Combo Cabal, you get a free donation deck every single month, 15% off merchandise from our shop, early access to private deck lists, and the most valuable perk in my opinion, videos early. That's right, you heard it, early access to all videos. But maybe sweet perk, secret deck list, early access to videos isn't for you, but you'd still like to show your appreciation. Make sure to check out theepicstorm.com/shop for card singles and Storm swag. Please don't forget to use your membership discounts. Finally, if you want to see your combo deck here on this very YouTube channel, make sure to visit theepicstorm.com/donation-decks, where all you have to do is attach your TXT file and pick a donation tier. With our Epic tier, you can even join me in a video to showcase your bold brew in person and explain the ins and outs of your strategy. Card availability won't be an issue due to our new sponsor, Card Hoarder. With Card Hoarder, renting is super easy. If you're looking to get into Magic Online, there isn't a better, more affordable solution than Card Hoarder. Fun fact, you can rent the Epic Storm for 7 tickets a week, which is just a great deal. There are many ways you can support us. Just pick whatever is best for you. In the meantime, let's play some Magic. Welcome to match number 1. I am Bryant Cook and we're on the play. Yeah, this hand seems great. Keep. So we have turn 1 Grazer into Mana Confluence. Turn 2, we can play Brawl, or we can play a Shimmer. And I feel like it's probably going to be Shimmer, so that way we could potentially hit our 3rd land. You could play Brawl, which means that you can double Shimmer on the following turn, assuming that it lives. But I don't want to miss the land drop if we don't have to. But if I draw a land here, I'm definitely playing Brawl. Not a land. Okay, so we will cast the Shimmer. Ouch. Lotus Field, welcome. Okay. And pass. Okay. We're now at 18. Sure thing. We can block that all day with our Arboreal Grazer. Okay. Draw. Alright, I'm gonna cycle Vizier here, because I want to be able to play Brawl into double Shimmer if need be. Draw. Okay, play the Brawl. Shimmer. And there's our stage, so we definitely want that. I cannot, well, I mean, I could copy this turn, I suppose. Maybe I should. Should have thought this through. I'm just going to commit to the line that I was already going to do. Because if I was going to Shimmer, I probably should have played the Sanctum. Okay, and then tap for blue. We will copy our Lotus Field. And let's Shimmer. Peer into the Abyss wins next turn. I mean, the Lier probably also wins, but... let's just... Which one's actually better? So, assuming that the Brawl lives, Peer is better. Lier is better, assuming that it doesn't live. So I think we're supposed to take the Lier, actually. Because, like, you just shouldn't play to the best possible thing always happening. And I get that, like, if Brawl lives, then Peer automatically wins. 100%, I totally get that. But I'd rather not play... Like, what happens if the Brawl dies? Then I'm stuck with this Peer in my hand that I still need 2 more mana for. Like, I don't want to get punished for taking that line. But it looks like it's not going to be relevant here. Mana Confluence. I like your style. Okay, and now they have a 3/3. Sure, I guess I'll block. The Grazer will get exiled. All right, we're off to the races. Play the Sanctum. And we can... I guess the question is, what do we think our choke point is this turn? Is it mana or is it action? Well, I guess either way I can do both, actually. So I don't know why I'm stressing over this so much. Let's just get back Hidden Strings. And I am not going to Cypher. So you might be thinking, Brian, you could have a free Cypher off the Brawl. This Hidden Strings is way more valuable in the graveyard. Okay, and let's cast a Shimmer. Get back to Balagad. Cast Balagad, getting back Hidden Strings. Hidden Strings, and we can still flashback this Hidden Strings at any point with the Lier. Now I'm going to Shimmer again, and if need be, we can always Valakut back the Shimmer. And here we hit the Peer into the Abyss. It's just easy peasy. Okay, float some mana. Oh, our opponent had enough. Okay. So that's game number 1 over this weird artifact aggro deck. We probably want these marches, and we'll board down to 1 Peer, at least in the main deck. Okay, game number 2. We have a Grazer, which I love. We don't have a turn 1 green source, but I think that this hand is still a slam dunk. Our opponent taking a mulligan all the way down to 5. So we can decide on if we want to lead on Ketria Triome or this Valakut Recovery / Sanctuary, because it really depends on how we see this game playing out, because you can't put the back half of Valakut into play off Grazer. So I'm just throwing it out there because I don't know. And we just drew the best possible one anyway. Okay, so turn 1 Grazer, and we'll put the Ketria into play. Pass. Nothing mattered. All right, so they're now on the flip side. They'll play their creature, it gets an extra counter. Mana Confluence. Draw. Another stage. So we have Lotus Field off of Wish next turn, but I still think I'm just going to Shimmer here. So you could go stage Wish, but you've already played your land. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Okay, so here we have Scrying, which means that we can keep Wish as an action spell instead. And we'll just pass the turn. And now the Kumano faces will flip. Okay. Block. Okay, we move to 17 life. Damping Sphere. You got it. We have this Otawara. Trying to figure out how I actually want to play this. I could just get the Boseiju and not have to like worry about spending an entire end step bouncing with this Otawara. If that was the case, I should have tapped differently. It's kind of a punt on my part. Geez, I should think through my lines more. Yeah, it's probably supposed to be just Boseiju. We'll play the Recovery. Okay. Yeah, I definitely messed this up a little bit. I could have tapped differently, and I could have had this Damping Sphere gone this turn. We'll block again, go to 15. One only has 2 cards in hand, so we're not in the worst shape. I don't care about Tormod's Crypt. Draw. And we drew the field anyway. That's good. Actually, I suppose I could just copy the Lotus Field this turn and not have to, like, I still have a green source later. Yeah, I'm just gonna copy. Okay. I have not played this game perfectly. I feel a little bit bad that here I am uploading a video about, like, look at the new Wish Lotus, and I'm playing like garbage. Alright, 2 cards still in hand. And I'm just going to pass the turn here. We're not under any sort of danger, so I'm just like not going to worry about it. So you could, in theory, tap this Ketria Triumph, tap the stage, blow up Sphere, Hidden Strings up to 10 mana, Wish down to 7, but that doesn't actually cast Peer. So it's like sort of a not great line, where instead we can Boseiju the Damping Sphere on their end step, tapping these 2 lands, tap this for 3 mana, copy stage, untap with triple Lotus Field. Shrapnel Blast. Okay, so I will go to 8. That was not a card I was expecting. I mean, this deck's really cool. Like, I have no bad... It's like a red version of the Ensoul Artifact deck, almost. Okay. Wonder what the green is for. We haven't seen that yet. Tap for green, and now we will besage you with the Stamping Sphere. Okay, they select to get a Stomping Ground, and then we will copy with our Lotus Field, or copy our Lotus Field with Thespian Stage. So now we have 10 mana already, and now we can just untap and attempt to win. So it's worth noting that if we play Pier, we're putting ourselves in the Shrapnel Blast range, which I'm a little bit worried about. And if I play Lier, they can crit me in response, but like not a whole lot in there. That might be the line. Alternatively, I could get Niv-Mizzet. And Niv-Mizzet, we would cast off these two. We would play Otawara into Hidden Strings, draw a card, Shimmer. Is that actually better than Lier? It might be. I guess like either way, this loses in a similar fashion that the Shrapnel Blast or the Pier line loses, except like I don't know. Like we could get our Niv-Mizzet Shrapnel Blasted. We would get another turn, but it's still like really bad. I think I like the Niv line though. Okay, Hidden Strings. Auto yield. Is your last card Shrapnel Blast? They just conceded. Wow. All right, so let's draw a card. Okay, we were gonna win this. That's good to see. All right, 1-0. If you haven't joined them already, I would recommend opening up our description down below and joining our 7 social media networks. They're each great in their own way, but I would strongly suggest joining our Discord server. In there, you will find others just like you looking to improve their Storm game and grow as a combo community. If you're a member of our YouTube channel, you should sync your account to Discord to unlock our private member section that has the latest and greatest deck lists, concepts, and much, much more. Let's get back to comboing out. Match 2, we're on the draw. Here we've opened up a Lotus Field stagehand with Valakut Awakening as a land drop. We do have an extra Lotus Field, so this hand is like a mulligan to 6. We'll keep this, and with the name LaRougeMTG, there's a good chance they're, ooh, not playing red. Hi-oh. Okay. In turn 1 Thoughtseize, you got it. I was going to say, like, they have to be playing red, right? But not the case. This hand's still really good, though. You might not believe me when I say this, but okay, they took the card I cared about least. I think Valakut Awakening is actually a card that I don't want them to discard because I want to not have to sacrifice the Thespian stage. So I'm going to play this out as a land. You could hold it and then later chuck this Lotus Field with it, which is a way of like making up for that lost card advantage in the early game. But maybe you're supposed to play this first then, but then any 2-drop you draw is shut off. Okay, it didn't really end up mattering. And now we accelerate into our Lotus Field. What I'm wondering is what deck are they playing where they kept a hand with turn 1 Thoughtseize and did nothing? Is it like the Orhzov decks where they had a turn 1 Thoughtseize but no creature, so they kept it because my username is Bryant_Cook? But I think the Orhzov decks died with no Luris, right? What is this? At the beginning of your end step, put an invitation counter. If you attacked with 2 or more creatures this turn, draw a card. Otherwise, create a 1/1 announcement token. Sure, you got it. So it's like a weird vampire deck, maybe? I don't know. We'll just copy our Lotus Field this turn. And pass. Never trust anyone with a Thalia avatar. I'm just throwing that out there. Clearly not a good person. Thalia is the worst. Luminarch Aspirant. Our opponent's certainly making Phil Gallagher proud right now. Sure thing. You didn't want to go into combat against my Grazer? I completely understand. Draw. Okay, it's time to, you know, race a little bit. Cycle this Vizier. Draw. Another Pore. Nice. Okay, so... Ding dong. Okay, so we probably can just peer here. We could also Lier and just like use it as a giant past in flames. There's many ways you can skin a cat or some expression like that, right? Okay, and there's a Lier. What's hidden strings? Yes, yes, no. Cast the Lier. Okay. Add some mana here, and we'll cast Pore Pages. Let's see if they killed the Lier in response. That's what I'm really looking for. And they do not. Okay, so let's play Wish. Whoops. Retap this for red. So now we can play Niv-Mizzet. And then Hidden Strings. Auto Yield. Save targets all at them. Okay. And at this point, it's actually free to Cypher because it's going to get exiled anyway. So we can just put it on the Niv-Mizzet. Alright, and then Pore Pages. Hi-oh. Okay. We do have this Valakut Awakening in the graveyard. But I'm going to cast Shimmer first. Take another Pore. So many pages. Discard another land. Red, blue. Let's play this Brawl. Brawl is resolved, and now we will Valakut. Okay, so now we just have to put 7 cards in the bottom. Alright, we've selected a bunch of cards. Any order, we don't care, and now Niv-Mizzet is just going to shotgun. And that is game number 1. So they're a black deck. I don't know really what they're playing, if I'm being honest. Like, it's some sort of like black-white aggro deck. But we saw Thoughtseize. They could have Necromancer or Goblank, so I'm definitely interested in these ley lines. And then I'd also like Niv-Mizzet in the main. They saw that our win condition was Wish into Niv. So by boarding this in case I don't open up on the ley line, this does give us a little bit of protection against Necromancer. Yeah, I'm good from here. Game 2 on the draw. We've opened up another great hand. It doesn't have the ley line in it, but we have Sylvan Scrying for the Lotus Field. We have Stage already. It's just a keep. Turn 1 Swamp. Well, I guess it's the path into Thoughtseize. Punish for not keeping ley line. I don't think you're supposed to ship the 7 though. It's so good. Okay, draw. Valakut Recovery. We're going to keep you around for a little bit because there's a possibility that I need to hardcast that to get back the Sylvan Scrying. Okay, and another pathway. Luminarch Aspirant. You got it. It's now a 2/2. Draw. Wish. That also gets me a Lotus Field. We're just going to play the Mana Confluence for now. I might actually look into hardcasting the Vizier next turn to speed up our game plan. Another Thoughtseize. And they take the Wish. Deafening Silence. This is not a nice person. Okay. Draw. We are really far behind and this thing's attacking for a lot. I think I'm just going to hardcast the Vizier. Okay, opponent has 3 cards in hand. Urborg. 4 mana. March of Otherworldly Light. Okay. Now we're taking 4 down to 12. Draw. Here. I'm really close to death. I tap this for green. We could tap this for black off of the Urborg so we don't lose life. And we'll get back the Sylvan Scrying. Pass the turn. And they have the go blank. Alright, so I got wrecked this game by discard spells. Obviously they had the Deafening Silence as well, but we were never even a spot where that mattered. So I'm definitely going to look for Leyline in game number 3. I'm not saying I'm going to hard mull for it, but I would definitely prefer to keep a hand that had one. And submit. Okay, on the play for game 3. I mean, this hand's really good too. It feels bad. Like, I put the ley lines in the deck, but like, I'm not supposed to ship this. Like, this is a fine hand. Okay. We do have Boseiju for Deafening Silence already. Turn 1, Godless Shrine, untapped. Thraben Inspector. So not Thoughtseize, which is good because now we can go get Lotus Field. Draw. Okay. Scrying. Go get that field and pass the turn. So some people like to play Shimmer there because it gives you a little bit more information. So if you find Lotus Field off Shimmer, then you know to get Thespian Stage with the Sylvan Scrying. That's actually fine against slower decks, but our opponent's playing a Thoughtseize strategy where I can't afford to risk getting the Scrying discarded in case the Shimmer misses. Okay, I'm going to just Shimmer here. I could Boseiju, but I don't want to accelerate my opponent. We found the stage. And play Lotus Field. Pass the turn. 3 mana. The wedding announcement card, okay. Draw. Alright, so we have a win locked up next turn as long as our opponent doesn't do anything backbreaking. No whammies. Come on. No whammies. 5 cards for the opponent. Plays a land. Graveyard Trespasser. I don't care about that. That's fine. They still have 3 cards in hand. Okay, it's time to party. And another Hidden Strings. Love it. And we are going to blow up this Deafening Silence. Okay. Hidden Strings. Yes, yes, no. Hidden Strings. Yes, yes, no. Hidden Strings. Yes, yes, no. And then we'll play Lier. Lier is honestly just bait here because I don't want the Niv-Mizzet to die later. So I'm casting this Hidden Strings now to see if they'll kill the Lier. Yes, yes, no. And let's Hidden Strings again. Okay. I guess I could just peer into the abyss. And that resolves. Let's cast Peer. Just unlock our entire deck. Draws 23 cards. Love to see it. Okay. We can start off by cycling a little bit. We have both Valakut Awakenings in hand, which is terrific, because now we can play Niv, and if they try to kill the Niv, we can just double Valakut. Untap the Lotus Field again. And we have a Niv right there, so let's add some red mana. Let's Hidden Strings, untap. Yes, yes, no. Play the Niv-Mizzet. And let's Hidden Strings. See if they'll try to kill the Niv here. Save targets all at you. Auto yield. It appears that everything is resolving. Okay. We have 20 cards left in our deck. So I could play the Valakut Awakening here. I have 24 cards in hand. I'll be honest. You can skip ahead. I don't want to. I want to draw cards. So you can either enjoy casting Pore pages with me, or you can go to match number 2. Because I came here to draw cards. Okay, let's discard this forest. They're at 9 and I have 12 cards in deck. Let's cycle this, make a mana, deal damage. Okay. And another Pour Over pages. Okay. Discard this Lotus Field. And now they're at 4. So I guess I can just cast the Pore from the graveyard and that will do. Lier is a broken magic card. I also enjoy how this build is now just like Is It Legends combo. Because we have Brawl, Lier, Niv-Mizzet. It's kind of wild. But we won match number 2. We are now 2-0 over this Orhzov aggro mid-range deck. Playing your favorite combo deck in Paper just got so much easier with the Epic Storm mini token pack. You can pick one up at theepicstorm.com/shop for $13. It includes 64 double-sided mini tokens. That's 128 tokens total. And they include 10 black, 10 blue, 10 red, 5 green, 5 white, 3 colorless, 20 storm counters. That means that you can count your way all the way up to 20 for Grape Shot, everyone's favorite Stormwind condition, a Galvanic Relay Exile Indicator, 4 treasure tokens for Strike It Rich, and then 10 monk tokens for our vintage friends. It also has Slime Time Live, Ave Progenitor Ooze tokens with the power and toughness already built in to make playing in Paper so much easier. No fumbling around with dice. We've got you covered. Make sure to go grab those if you're playing Modern. And then Squirrels versus Goblins, Chatterstorm versus Empty the Warrens, the Battle of the Ages. You definitely need 20 Squirrel tokens and 20 Goblin tokens. You're going to love this mini token pack, I promise. And once again, you can grab that at theepicstorm.com/shop. Match number 3 on the play. Yeah. So once again, Wish is our way of getting a Lotus here. So I'm going to play turn 1 Ketria, which is our red source for Wish, turn 2 Brawl, and then we can play Wish into the Lotus Field on our 3rd turn. So by having Brawl on turn 2, we're essentially accelerating our game plan. Ooh, it's the Mirror. Okay. Draw. Grazer. Not really what we need at the moment. So let's play the Brawl and pass. Forest. Shimmer. So definitely in the Mirror. We're going to need a payoff spell that isn't this Wish. Okay, let's play Wish into the Lotus Field. Get in there. Hiya. They have their own Lotus Field. Grazer, okay. That will stop any sort of Cypher shenanigans. Draw. Vizier, that's not bad. Let's see if we can draw into something good, though. I need a payoff spell. I'd even take a Balagad Recovery to get back the Wish. Not quite. I'm going to pass here, and I know that it seems strange. But if our opponent tries to ultimatum me, I can bounce Omniscience with this Otawara, and I can't do that if I tap out. Okay, Pour Over pages. I guess the downside here is that my land, my Thespian stage, isn't protected from a Boseiju. I mean, their hand's really good. Okay. They're copying. Okay, so we just need to find an action spell. We have our draw step plus this Ketria Triumph to do so. Okay, copy the Lotus Field. Come on, deck, please give me an action spell. Draw. Ding! Okay. Hidden Strings. No. Tap for black. Peer into Disbiss. Peer into the Abyss. So strong. Okay. At this point, we just have to go through the motions. Cycle this Vizier. And our opponent concedes. Okay. So we don't have a sideboard for this matchup. You could board in something like Niv-Mizzet or whatever, but honestly, our main deck is just set up. So why is this not in pile view? I just realized that. I like pile view. But like Grazer is good because it accelerates you. Like everything in our main deck is actually, or why did I say pile view? Card view. But like Grazer is good because it accelerates you. There's no cards you actually want to board out in this matchup. So we're just leaning on Wish into Alpine Moon in post-board games to slow down the opponent's thought distortion turns. Okay, so this seems fine to me. Keep. Okay, no turn one Grazer. I do enjoy that. Brawl, that's a good one. So we have turn 2 Brawl into turn 3 Lotus Field, Hidden Strings, Wish, Alpine Moon. Sylvan Scrying. Lotus Field. Draw. Didn't need another Peer, but that's okay. Didn't play the Lotus Field. Vizier, okay. Draw. So we'll play Lotus Field. The question is, am I still supposed to Alpine Moon? And I don't think I am now. But the problem is that I could potentially lose to the Thought Distortion next turn. So I could Hidden Strings, Wish, Alpine Moon, and then they have to find the answer. Maybe that's just good enough. Okay. Okay. Yes. Yes. And then I actually do want a Cypher here. Because that means if they use Vizier next turn, I will be able to untap my lands. And I will play the Alpine Moon. We'll name Lotus Field. I really don't want to get hit by Thought Distortion, which is why I'm taking this line. And then get our Thespian stage. Untap our Lotus Field. And our Brawl, why not? Okay. Am I going to get punished? 3 mana. They're going to get back their Sylvan Scrying, so they don't have the Boseiju yet, but they can play Lotus Field here, untap, and then cast the Scrying right now for Boseiju. Okay, and they don't do that. Okay, so I'm going to Pore here, hoping that I can draw into, you know, the nuts. Discard this Lotus Field. I can Wish into Fry, which would remove the Vizier. I'm just trying to slow down the opponent at the moment. I know it's silly. Let's Fry. Get in there. Tap, untap. Yes. Yes. Now we can tap for blue. Copy our Lotus Field. Shimmer. I don't think this really matters all that much. I guess I could get a Wish. I'm just going to grab the Beseiju. Like, what if for some reason, and I have played my land, I just want to make sure. What if for some reason our opponent also has an Alpine Moon? The Beseiju is just a good backup plan here. Okay, so they're Sylvan Scrying. So they'll have an untapped Lotus Field right now. So if their other 4 cards win the game, they got me. Okay, if your other 4 cards win... Oh no, I just realized I punted. I was supposed to get the basic forest. I could use the Beseiju. Oh no. Oh no, I played this game fairly well up until that point. I just punted. Getting the forest, I could Beseiju their Omniscience. Oh no. Why did I do that? I deserve to lose now. Oh, geez. This is Hardcast Omniscience? It is. What's your last card? Wow, their last 4 won the game. Okay. So they got me. I played that like garbage because I had the Beseiju and I didn't get the forest. I had it too. I just needed to not punt. Okay, we're on the play for game 3. I just had a memory lapse there. Such a bummer. Okay, this hand is not a keep. It technically does the thing, it's just really slow. And they kept 7. I'm in trouble. Okay. They have the Grazer start. Oh no. Okay, that makes my start a little bit faster, but we're still on the draw versus the Grazer hand. Get the Lotus Field. Really disappointed that I punted that. 2 mana. Sylvan Scrying. Reveals Thespian Stage. They have the Lotus Field. Good hand. Draw. We're just going to play Lotus Field here. So if they play Stage and Copy and don't win the game, we do have Wish into Alpine Moon. But if they have a turn 3 on the play, like, you have to tip your cap. Like, you were never going to beat that. Green mana. Okay. And another Grazer. And they played the Beseiju. Wow. Alright, so we'll tap for red. I mean, hold on. I drew another Hidden Strings. I could, in theory, try to win here. Okay, I'm gonna go big. Yes, yes, no. Let's copy. Hidden Strings. Yes, yes, no. And now pour over the pages. 7 mana going up to 8. Okay, so we can discard the Grazer here. So this other Pore almost has a win for us, because if I hit 1 more mana off this like a Vizier, we can Wish into Lier, and then that's a good game. We did not, but we hit the... Actually, I think we have the win multiple ways now. Because I could also Valakut back Hidden Strings. So at this point, it's picking your favorite way to win. Let's get back Hidden Strings, though, because it +1 mana is +1 mana. Okay, and now we'll Hidden Strings. Yes, yes, no. And I don't think it matters. Technically, I think the Lier line is better, because what, hypothetically, and I'm not trying to just like cast Lier for no reason, what if the Pier doesn't draw into untap effects, right? Like, it could happen. So I'm going to play Lier instead. And now we can Hidden Strings. And there's no reason you actually can't do both. Just throwing that out there. Like, this is probably just the safest avenue. Hidden Strings. Yes, yes, no. So now we have Pier with 3 floating still. But I'm going to just Pore. Like, I just don't want to risk the Pier not hitting when I can just make a little bit more mana right now and draw less cards later. Okay. We will Pore again. Discard this Grazer. Let's play Brawl. And cycle the Vizier. I think we're almost done winning. One moment. So I can go Wish. Tap this for Wish. And now we can play Niv-Mizzet. Oh no. I miscounted. Did I just punt this? Oh no. I miscounted. I thought I had 4 floating. Shimmer. Can't believe I just did that. I just punted twice this match. Please deck bail me out. Not quite. It gives me a redraw, but I don't think that's good enough. I can't believe I just did that. Alright, so we can untap here, draw a card, and then flashback the Shimmer. I really can't believe that I did that. Please hit. I can't take the Valakut Awakening. Why did I do that? Oh, geez. Overconfident. Cycle. Draw. And now I'm dead. Because I punted. Oh, geez. I can't believe this. It's worth noting that I did draw like 20 cards. And, well, technically not 20. I've drawn a bunch of cards, but like there wasn't a hidden strings in the top like 15-ish cards in my deck. So like I don't think you were supposed to just play the Pier, but yeah, I played the Niv too early. So I can scrying for Boseiju here, but I can't untap my land. I don't think there's an avenue that does anything here. I just have to pass. I messed that up so badly. 2 games in a row this round that I punted. In my head, I counted out the mana, and I was like, yeah, I have enough to Niv into Pore into Pier, and then that way I won't need to Valakut Awakening. And then my math was 1 off. I think my only out here is that I draw the Boseiju off an Niv-Mizzet trigger. And it looks like we're getting hit by Thought Distortion here. Oh no, we're not. They're just making black mana for the ultimatum. Okay. Come on, please draw Boseiju. Yes. Okay. So search your library for 3 monocolored cards. An opponent chooses one of those cards. That's the card that's put into the library. The other 2 they get to cast. So I think what we're supposed to do, and I could be wrong here, is what if we give them double tutor? Like, what do they do? I guess they Pier. So we don't want to give them double tutor. So we'll put the petition on the bottom. Okay. They're getting a card they own from outside the game. Now Omniscience. They're going to kill my Niv. That's fine. So now they get to cast one card off the Omniscience. And in response, we're going to destroy the Omniscience. This is one of the biggest weaknesses of this build, in my opinion. I'm not trying to trash talk it because we got super lucky and drew the Boseiju, but when I was testing this build, Omniscience dies all the time now due to Boseiju. It's unfortunate that their last card in hand was the Behold, though, because now they can get strings, Pier. I should be dead here. Like, strings, Pier should win. Okay. So there's hidden strings. They're switching phases, which makes sense. And then in their second main phase, they'll win the game. Man, that's such a bummer that their last card in hand was the Behold. So is this Balaged? It should just be Pier. Thought Distortion. Okay. What did you keep then? Okay. That's weird. I thought I was dead. Draw. That's a good one. Okay. Let's cast it. But 6 dead cards. I can't believe we're even in this game right now. Cannot believe it. Like, I played this like garbage. Like, I'm beating myself up right now. Like, we shouldn't even be in this spot. We should be in the 4th match. Alright, so I hit... I could wish for the Alpine Moon right now. They have 1 card in hand. So I'm just trying to think about ways that I could win this right now, and that's just like, what do they do if I do that, right? I could Valakut again, which seems sort of free to me. Wait, is that my last one? I need to make sure. No, I have 1 more in my deck. Okay. So I'm going to put some of these cards in the bottom, not all of them. So we're going to keep the untap land, Pier, and Wish. Hidden Strings off the top, I think, wins. There we go. Okay. Yes, yes, no. We still have another Niv-Mizzet over in exile. Yes, yes, no. Let's cast the Wish. Let's play the other Niv. And now we have 2 hidden strings in the graveyard, and then we can cast Pier. This is what I was... This is the line I thought I had when I punted the previous turn. And now we can just Pier ourselves. I am sorry. But on the bright side, at least you know what it looks like when I play this poorly. Ah, geez. This was a nightmare of a matchup. So I'm guessing our opponent doesn't have a Pier in their deck. I'm guessing they're on the Bullwinkle list. We did see Yavimaya Coast. So I think that's a giveaway that our opponent didn't actually have the Pier wrapped up right there. But hey, we technically got it. Despite my best efforts, we ended up winning the game. Whew. How about that? All right, 3-0, 2 rounds left. Hey, you're still watching. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe. If you're looking to make a purchase from Card Hoarder, TCG Player, or Amazon, and are looking to support us, you can open up our description down below, and in there you will find our affiliate links. Those same links are found on the homepage of the Epic Storm. But that's not all. We've included a Card Hoarder button on our website that will load the Epic Storm in your Card Hoarder cart to make life simple for you. I guess I'm at 1, but the pier shut off. Draw. Alright, so I need to draw hidden strings here and we stand a chance. Come on, deck, please give me hidden strings. Please, 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 please. I mean, honestly, that wasn't the worst, but I could still really use a hidden strings here. Double hidden strings, actually. That's not going to work. Okay, let's try Brawl into Shimmer for strings. We found the strings. Okay. And now we can Pore again. If I pull this off, oh no. I needed to draw like a Vizier or something there, because if I could do Vizier, I could barely get back hidden strings and stand a shot, but we ended up bricking here. They got me. Okay, off to game 3. No discard spell even needed, they just raced me. Alright, submit. Game 3 on the play versus Mardu Greasefang. So here we have the ley line. I'm going to try this. I don't love it, just because this hand is a little bit slow after what we just saw, but I still think it's fine. We're going to play the turn 1 Valakut Awakening, turn 2 Shimmer, and see what we can do, I guess. Ley line. Play the Valakut and pass. This is Valakut Stoneforge, not the Molten Pinnacle. Alright, turn 1 red source into Epicure. That's scary. Alright, so that gives me Lotus Field. We'll want the Shimmer to find Thespian stage now. Urborg. Stitcher Supplier. And they milled it. Oh, geez. Alright, so we take 1 down to 18. I'm in trouble here. Draw. Let's see if I can find something good. Shimmer. None of that was something good. Oh no. I guess I mean, obviously we want the stage, but I'm just afraid I'm going to be dead very, very quickly here. They discard Thoughtseize. So they want white source and a Greasefang here. Please don't have it. There it is. Yikes. What a start. Even if we draw hidden strings here, I can't win. Okay. Yeah, we're just dead. Okay, well, if I draw hidden strings off this Vizier, we actually stand a shot. Please, deck, give me hidden strings. Please, 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 please. Come on. Nope. So if I hit the nuts off the Pore, that's another possibility, and we're dead. Damn, not fast enough. Yep, I'm gonna concede. So you might be thinking, like, Bryant, you sided in these ley lines and boarded out the grazers. If you wanted to not die so quickly, you should keep in grazer since it's a blocker. They leave back giant flying angels, and the next turn they can loot away the Partheon, I believe it's called, and then do it again. So they put so much power on the board that Grazer can't actually soak up enough damage. So I don't think that's actually true. Plus we saw the Leyline blank a Thoughtseize here. I mean, I think the real answer was that I needed to be a little bit faster, and it just didn't happen, unfortunately. We needed to draw Hidden Strings. Not the end of the world, not a big deal, it's only one match. We're 3-1 with 1 round left to go. If you're looking for more great Magic the Gathering content, definitely check out the Eternal Glory podcast. It is myself, Bryant Cook, alongside Brian Koval and Phil Gallagher. We primarily discuss Legacy. That said, a lot of what we talk about transcends all formats. We're available on all major podcast platforms. The 5th and final match, we're on the play. Okay, so classic problem of Lotus Field, one other land. I think we just should be more disciplined in Mulligan. Better. Okay, so we'll keep this and get rid of the Shimmer. Sanctum pass. Ooh, what are we facing? I've played a lot of Pioneer over the last week or so, and I've yet to see a Temple of Deceit. So if I had to take a wild guess, I would think it's blue-black control, but I'm not actually sure. Okay. Draw. I'm just going to play this Thespian Stage and Pass. We can cycle the Ketria on their end step, and then play Lotus Field Copy next turn. So basically, if you play the Lotus Field now, look at the top two. Exile one of them face down, you can spend it later. Okay. They took my Botanical Sanctum. How dare they? No one makes me bleed my own blood. Cycle. And another Lotus Field, okay. Play Lotus Field. We'll sacrifice these and copy. So let's see what our opponent does here. We have Wish next turn into Sphinx, assuming that the Wish resolves. And another Siphon Sight, the flashback this time. Or, I mean, I guess it's weird because, like, Wish would have to resolve, and so would your Hidden Strings for these Sphinx to matter. But, like, if that was the case, you could probably also peer into the Abyss. Okay, well, they have a Narset. So now that Narsets hit the table, I'm more interested in Sphinx. Aw, they hit Thoughtseize. It's so brutal. Wow. Okay. Not very nice. Yikes. Okay. Jeez Louise. We were going to have a Sphinx there. Memory Deluge. What is this? Whenever deals damage, draw a card. Then if you have fewer than 3 cards in hand, draw cards equal to the difference. Okay. That Thoughtseize off the Narset was so brutal. Draw. Hello. So we still can't... The thing's also a 5/5. So we can play Wish. Oh my god, this is going to be sweet. It just occurred to me. Oh, this is going to be so awesome. Yes. No. Alright, so I think, and I could be wrong here, I think we're going to play Lier off Wish, flashback, kill the... we're going to fry the Narset and then continue to win. I just need to make sure that all this works in my head is going to work the way that it does in my head. So I'm going to play Boseiju here. I probably should have played one of these last turn. So we have 7, 8 mana. This is +4, so that's 12. Lier brings you down to... I'm sorry, I'm doing this wrong already. All right, so let's just start with the basics. We have 8 mana. Lier brings me down to 3. And then we have +12 after that. So we'll have 13 mana. Wish into Fry brings you down to 8 mana, and then Wish would leave you with 5 floating. There's not really anything we can do with 5 mana. So should I even bother getting Lier? I still think the answer is probably yes. I'm just less excited about it now. Okay. And now we'll get the Lier. Hidden Strings. Yes. Red. Let's use this green mana. Let's fry the Narset. So, hold on. So 6 mana. Hidden Strings. Wait, my math must have been off. So we can Wish into Pore. Or I can get Niv-Mizzet. But I don't think Niv is actually that good here. So I think we're supposed to Wish into Pore. I don't know how I miscounted by 2, but I'm sort of glad that I did. Alright, let's Pore. And pass the turn. Discard a whole bunch of lands. If I drew, I haven't even seen if I have, but if I drew the other Otawara, I would obviously keep it. Doesn't look like I did. Discard these Shimmers, we don't need those. We can get rid of the stage. Okay, so this is our 7-card hand. This is what we need to make work. Our opponent has a 5/5 dragon. Fabled Passage. 6 mana. Dragonlord Silumgar, okay. They didn't attack. But honestly, that just doesn't matter. We have the win. I heard you like dragons. I'm going to kill you with one. Okay. Draw. Every day I'm cycling. I really want there to be another cycling set soon. I love it so much. I also wish that there was a format that New Perspectives was good in, because I played that deck when it was in Standard and it ruled. But it's just like not powerful enough for Pioneer. Okay, play Brawl. Hidden Strings. Yes, yes, no. Alright, so let's play Wish. Alright, so this is 10 mana, 11 mana. I have enough to Wish, or to Niv into Pore here. Making sure I didn't mess that up twice in one league. Save targets, all at them. Okay, discard this Grazer. And we just keep on cantripping. Okay, discard the Grazer. I mean, at some point we can just cast this Valakut Awakening. Or discard the stage. And we can just cast this, it's fine. Clicking on our targets. I'm not very good at that part though. Okay, we only have to deal them 5. And I realized at some point I probably could have pinged this Silumgar to death, but why bother? Like, I don't need to do that. I had another one in my hand I never even cast. So here we're going to bring in the Sphinx and Niv-Mizzet. Let's side out the Grazers. And then you have one more card slot that you need to board in. You can either do Lotus Field or you can do Niv. They both have their strengths and weaknesses. I think I like boarding and just double Niv a little bit more. Something like a Necromentia, or there's another one that's like blue-black. Either of those, naming Niv would probably just win the game. I mean, I could still attack with Sphinx of the Final Word a bunch, I suppose. But, why would our opponent ever name that in the blind? Like, it just wouldn't make sense. So, I'm going to board like this. Good hand. Keep. Temple of Deceit. Sanctum pass. So our hand's interesting in the fact that we can play a turn 2 Sylvan Scrying. Well, I guess we can't. And if they countered the Scrying, eventually we can just like double Lotus Field the hard way. So like, honestly, I'm fine with that. If this is their play, I'd rather they leave Pier than take the Scrying, because eventually we'll end up with double Lotus Field anyway. We can just play another Sanctum and pass the turn. Shipwreck Marsh and another Thoughtseize. Takes Wish. Okay. Draw. Hello. Lotus Field has hit the battlefield. Another Siphon Insight. Duress. Maybe I want to consider Leyline if there's a third game. Geez, that's a lot of discard. Lier, oh Lier. They still have a card of mine over there in exile. And they get to flashback this Siphon Insight here. What is this? What is Drag Bullet? When it enters the battlefield, tap it, and up to one target creature an opponent controls, they don't untap. Okay, that's strange. Next untap steps. Oh, they took my Pore. That's not nice of them. So we can potentially try to win on our turn if they don't have a counterspell for Lier. Alright, play Lier. So this is just a hard counter. Yep. Bummer. Okay, pass the turn. They have 2 cards in hand. So many discard spells. Yeah, if there's a game 3, I'm 100% siding in Leyline of Sanctity. Pour over the pages down. So they have 1 card in hand. Draw. So if I play Pier, and if their last card is a land, they have lethal damage. Because they can activate this land. So I think instead I'm just going to play my land here and pass. And then on the following turn I can Pier. Another Siphon Insight. Okay. Wish. What are you casting? Kalidas. Really? That's your play? I guess we get to win the game? Draw. Let's cast Pier. Just have to be careful about which land I play. Okay, tap this for colorless, and then this one for blue. Ouch, we're at 6 life. Cycle this Vizier. Untap Lotus Field. Draw. Tap Lotus Field, cycle Vizier. Okay. For all. And now we can Hidden Strings to make a bunch of mana. Hidden Strings again. Let's bail get recovery back our Lier. Lier deserves to be on the table. What has she ever done wrong? Or he, I don't know. What have they ever done wrong? I don't know Lier's gender. Hidden Strings. Yes, yes, no. Let's play our own dragon. Hidden Strings. Who's the real dragon deck? That's the real question. Save targets. Auto yield. Yes, yes, no. And I suppose I can just cast a Valakut. Let's quit messing around. Okay. Slowly selecting a whole bunch of cards here. I'm really bad at this. I don't know if you've noticed, like, every time I click, I feel like it just, like, swaps the cards, and I don't actually end up clicking on anything. There's been a few times where it's, like, made games a little dicier than it should have been. Okay, Valakut Awakening for a bunch of damage. So many triggers. Okay, so we got the 4-1. We had an insane mirror match. That was really sweet. I mean, even if you don't count the punts, or if you do count the punts, whatever, like, that was a really good match. Like, there was a lot of back and forth. We beat everything that wasn't the two, like, pretty good draws out of the Greasefang deck. Like, one game they had turn 4 vehicle, and the other game they had turn 3 vehicle. So, I mean, those were really, really good draws, and unfortunately we just didn't beat those. But we came close both games to beating those draws. It's just we came up a little bit short. So, I liked the list. The Alpine Moon was pretty interesting. If only I knew to get the Untapped Forest and a bunch of other misplays that I made. But hey, we got that match W anyway. Let me know what you think of the changes in the comment section down below. I didn't really feel like I missed Mystical Dispute or Thought Distortion, but feel free to let me know if you think otherwise. Thank you for watching. I do appreciate you, and as always, keep storming. Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.